There it is. Welcome back, everybody. Real Estate Makes Us Drink. We are happy you're here. If you're a first timer, welcome. If you're a returner, thanks for coming back.
Did you say returner?
I did.
That's a neat name.
That's a football term, returner.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Thank you. Brian Quinlan here from Daniels Real Estate.
Brad Nickham from Nest Mortgage Group.
And we have a guest.
Yeah, I'm Alex Zinkoski with ZNet Solutions.
Here's the thing. At the end of the show, you have to be able to spell his name properly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, he'll buy you a beer. That's awesome. Because I was going to say, you win nothing.
Well, you got to find me first.
It'll be on the screen.
It will be on the screen, yeah. Sometimes not everybody catches everything.
Wow, it's there the entire time. Cheers, my friend. Welcome.
Cheers. Welcome to
yet another episode. Alex, there you go. Yep.
We'll get
Cheers.
there eventually.
Well played. All right.
You got a sip first. We cheered.
Okay. So today I am drinking something from Total Wine. It's a Hefeweizen, not spelled that way, but pronounced that way apparently. 1520. It's a little William Shakespeare drinking a beer. That's funny. But it is out of Grand Junction Brewing Company in Westfield.
There's a lot of Indiana places making beer.
For sure.
Yeah.
I try and, I don't really always look for the Indiana label, but it just seems like I grab those, which is great.
Yeah.
Looks like tequila.
Tequila, yeah. It's like the normal show. A little
Paladar?
Paladar, yeah. This is a really good tequila. They dip the bottles in the actual dirt of the field where the agaves grow, and then that's a little Mexican clay there on the bottom.
Oh, not fancy. Did it make you feel bad when you throw the bottle away?
I haven't thrown one of these away yet because I haven't finished a whole bottle of it, so I haven't had an opportunity to have a bad feeling yet.
Okay.
But I feel bad every time I throw away one of my tequila friends.
Oh, so sad.
So it is, and the bottles are usually pretty.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to put it in the trash, and it's like, but people say you can buy this thing and make them lights, put little lampshades on
there
top
you go.
of them. And I'd have a lot of lights.
I was going to say, how many lamps does one person need?
I'd have like 400
Seems like a lot.
from this year.
Oh. Alex, what are you drinking?
So I picked a Quaff on peanut butter busted knuckle.
All right.
It's pretty decent actually.
Yeah? You like the peanut butter beers?
Not typically, but I will take it. It's a what is this porter? I think.
It's made in Indiana too.
Yeah, that's right. Quaff on is in
Yeah.
Indiana.
That beer is a leftover beer from one of our past guests, Matt Braun.
See how they treat
Oh,
me
no
here?
way.
Yeah, it's Matt's favorite beer.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Excellent. Okay, so this is another episode where we have a guest that I don't know. You have met Alex before, so how did we wind up here?
Well, I was already here, so I just walked out here, but he drove.
Yeah, it was a long drive. It was long.
I met Alex, referred to me by Chris Oakes, who's a realtor here in town, and
Hi, Chris.
hey, Chris, and I did his mortgage for him back probably about a year ago, maybe a little longer.
It was January.
January of 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got in right under the line.
Seemed a lot longer than that.
5 months ago. All
I
right.
know, right?
Yeah, 5 or 6 months ago, and
Yeah.
he's a fellow guitar player and musician, and I said that like I am.
You are.
Yeah,
You are, yeah.
He's a musician. I'm a guy who plays guitar,
Oh.
and
I think you're a little better than that.
and then he and I were at
Northbrook.
Northbrook Brewery, which is another place that makes beer in Indiana. They have
Yeah.
I have not heard of that one.
It's an open mic night in Arcadia every Wednesday night, and I came up and played to have a little fun with Chris, and then he was there, and we started talking, and he told me a little bit about what he did in his business, and I was like, wow, I need you to come do all of that at my house. And it became a conversation that went, you should be on our podcast. I think he has some great systems to help people have a smarter home, and then also some fantastic ways to change your experiences watching television programming. And I was impressed by him.
Okay. Well, after that introduction,
Can't fall short now, can it?
Yeah. Talk me up here.
so, what company does he work for again?
So I have a day job and then a business that I run. So
Okay.
my business is called ZNet Solutions, and I specialize in consumer and business IT services. That's just to put it kind of broadly because I do pretty much a little bit of everything. I started off in IT like 8 or 9 years ago, give or take, as just like a help desk guy. And I worked my way up to, a network or junior network admin, a network admin. I'm currently an infrastructure manager at my day job. To put it simply, I design and build internet networks and server infrastructure.
Okay, so two different jobs. Do you spend more time doing one than the other?
Yeah. So my day job obviously takes most of my time. Most of what I do there is security stuff. So I built their infrastructure and server infrastructure, their network and server infrastructure, probably about a year and a half ago now, give or take. And I've just been hardening it over time and just securing stuff here and there. I just implemented a security operations center, or SOC in a box, as we call it. It's called the Security Onion. It's yeah, oh yeah.
I had to think about that.
So it's called Security Onion. It's really cool, free and open source software, right? So you set it up. It's a pretty simple point and click interface through the setup. You got to have some network knowledge, and then it will scan your networks and constantly look for threats. And if there's a potential attack or issue, it'll give you an alert. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Oh yeah, I'm getting ready to launch a bunch of simulated attacks across the network to make sure it's working. So
Wow. Yeah, I feel like your job is always evolving.
constantly, it never stops. man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spend probably about 20% of my day in just research.
The
Is
Russians. It's the Russians.
Is it a? Do you have to go to an office somewhere? Or do you get to work
yeah.
from home?
Yeah. So for my day job, I actually go to an office. I'm a one-man IT crew there, which it's nice because so the job I'm at now is much smaller than the company I came from. Company I came from, I was managing about 75 switches, 35 some odd servers, and about 2,000 end users.
Wow.
Here I have 5 switches, 1 server, and about 100 end users. So
Yeah, definitely less.
oh god, man, I didn't sleep at my last job.
That's what being a realtor's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I see a lot of similarities.
Yeah, absolutely. In your world, and we've actually had a previous discussion about AI on this show.
Sure.
So, how do you see, and I'm sure it already is, but AI kind of impacting all of that when you're fighting a computer as opposed to a human trying to do something?
Right. So AI is just like all things, it's a double-edged sword. When it comes to security, especially, you're now starting to see attackers use AI to build custom malware that is getting around,
Yeah.
intrusion detection systems and IPSs, and IDSs and IPSs, intrusion detection and intrusion prevention. So
I get a lot of what he says.
Right.
But, like, holy cow.
And I'm thinking, I just seen an AI video where they made a Conway Twitty song, Tight Fitting Jeans, but they made it 50 Cent singing the words to In the Club, and they call him Conway Fitty.
Also,
send
on a
that to
previous
me
episode,
for
yeah.
research reasons?
We did talk about that on
We
another
did. That
show.
was with the Mosquito Authority.
I probably drank on that one.
There were a few beverages that night.
Yeah.
So it's got to be hard.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a double-edged sword, so it's good and bad. Now we have AI to help defend too.
That's true.
So you're starting to see a lot of AI implemented into NOCs and SOCs, Network Operations Center, Security
Thank you.
Operations Center. I will always try to elaborate on the acronyms here. There's a lot of acronyms in IT.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a lot of AI starting to get implemented into this stuff and these programs to kind of help and assist with this, and looking for threats in the ever-evolving threat vector. So
How can AI replace me but still pay me? That's what I want to know.
you build the AI system yourself, and then you make everybody think it's you.
Okay, well, I'm going to do this till I
I can
die.
help with that.
Coming soon, Brad wants an AI cartoon of himself that dances on screen.
I do want a
So-
cartoon dancing guy.
Okay.
There
Because
it is.
I want to take my cartoon guy and I want to do whatever the craze TikTok dance is.
Yeah.
I want to I can't do it. But I want my cartoon character to do it.
I would recommend checking out Fiverr and look for a digital animation artist.
I have it, so I can get it done, but it's thousands of dollars
Yeah.
for each one. I just
Oh,
stuck with
God.
my $75 cartoon character that came off of Fiverr, but the guy quit.
Oh, that's
So
what happened.
I wanted to get one for Brian so we can make really good logos up here with Brian as a cartoon character. Although with the hat on, he's kind of cartoonish already.
It's true.
So
You know, I bet he probably just used AI to make yours.
actually, so I had a second guy do one because I wanted new clothes,
Yeah.
and he drew the one of my wife, and I just wasn't happy with the way the new guy did it. So I had
Yeah.
him put my head on all the old people because he just didn't make it look good. So I didn't go back to have him do yours because I wasn't as happy with
That's
it.
okay.
So we'll figure it out
It's
though.
fine. So in the technology world that you work in, is your home system just on lockdown?
Oh, dude, you have no idea. Nothing but a nation state actor could break my home network.
Nice.
So I am incredibly anal about security. So my certifications are: I'm a Cisco certified network administrator and a Cisco certified cybersecurity operations specialist. That one's a mouthful.
Yeah. That should be an acronym. Of
Yeah, cyber ops.
Okay.
CBR ops. So my home network, I have a custom built firewall that is totally bespoke to me. It is, all of my rules were designed for me, basically, and what I use. So I don't allow social media on my home network. I don't allow.
No, Brian's out.
I'm coming over, Alex. Thanks.
Sorry. Well, okay. So I have like 4 or 5 networks, right? I have a guest network
Okay.
that people can connect to and do
Oh,
whatever, but
thanks.
they can't touch anything else in my system.
Okay.
It's completely segregated. That is the most secure way to have a guest network. Is it's like, they can't touch anything else inside. So
It's
Makes
kind
sense.
of like having plastic on your furniture.
yeah, actually, that's
like
a
it.
really
You can
good
come
way
over.
of putting it.
You just can't get your germs all
You
over
can
my
sit on the
stuff.
couch, but you cannot feel its softness.
Well, a lot of these apps, like they have network scanners
Really
inside of
soft
them.
in the store.
Just have to take your word for it.
But it's an investment. So when we go to sell it, we want to have it just as soft.
Absolutely.
I kind of wish that would have never gone away. They were so great. Usually the houses that had it, you could smell their house from outside.
Oh man, you can hear the house when you walk in, or anytime someone gets up off the couch.
And if you're in shorts and it's summer out,
Oh,
and you
man.
only had that window air conditioning, because back then central air wasn't invented yet, and your legs sweat, and then
Oh, yes.
you actually slipped when you tried to get off the couch. Oh, I loved my grandma's house.
I was literally about to say that.
It's funny, we'll watch older shows with when they're trying to make it look like it's the 70s or the 80s. And my wife and I are always like, oh, my aunt had that couch. Oh, my
Oh,
uncle
for
had
sure.
that couch. Like, oh, we had that couch.
Yeah, that is the sad. I think I had that couch.
Yeah.
So sad. All right, well, let's talk how this relates to real estate, which is your
Yeah.
other job.
Well, yeah, sort of. So a part of my business, do smart home builds as well.
Oh, all right.
So smart homes are really, really cool, but they're also extremely insecure.
Oh.
My house is very insecure, too.
like,
I mean, sometimes it'll hide itself from me.
right. So I use custom builds. So, for example, a build I'm working on right now is an ESP32 chip that wires into my garage door opener, and as soon as my phone connects to my Wi-Fi, it opens my garage door.
Do you have a garage door?
Yes.
Okay, I was checking.
So, like, well, my issue right now is the house that I bought doesn't have a garage door.
Okay.
Right?
So I have a problem that I need to fix, and I chose to use tech to do it.
Sure.
So currently I'm trying to figure out the schematics for the pins for the garage door opener to actually, tell the door to go up or down. And then it's pretty simple to just wiring that into an ESP32 chip, and then basically you write a little bit of code that says, hey, when this, do this. So it's an if-then statement.
So I can do my garage door from my phone from an app,
Yeah.
and then that app connects to multiple apps.
Right.
Right. So, So one of the things I found that I think is really cool is some of these lights, the actual switch. I use one that's called a Brilliant, and it is brilliant. Yeah, it connects to the internet, of course, and then
Right.
we chose pictures that then scroll on it, so it always has pictures on it, and then it intercoms from each one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then it has cameras on each one too.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can go on an app and say I'm out of town. I can turn my lights on and look in each room,
Oh yeah, that's nice.
and then I can turn the lights off. So we did this when we were out of town. But I found that's really awesome to be able to connect that, and my thermostat's connected, both thermostats, so I always can adjust the temperature in the house and see what's
Right.
going on, and then the Ring cameras all connect to it. So, but sometimes I'm clunking through maybe 2 or 3 apps to do that.
Yeah. See.
So do you have a way to kind of take all of that into just one app?
Yeah, so there's a free and open source software called Smart Home that is compatible with 90% of the smart devices out there. That's why I like free and open source software is anybody can add to it. If they go, hey, I've got this light bulb, but this current build doesn't support it. Well, let me recompile the code. Now it does, and I'll send this to the developer and be like, hey, you can put this in for free.
That's awesome. Because like all these crazy lights, each one's on an app to be able to use it, but
Right.
each one on a different app.
Right. And if it turns out, these apps aren't compatible with the app, wire it into its own chip, make it compatible with Smart Home.
Like his garage door opener.
Exactly.
Wow.
That is some nerdy shit.
I'm a super nerd, man.
Have you always been a nerd?
No, actually. So I didn't know anything about computers until I was about 20 years old. And then I bought my first laptop and it just clicked.
Oh.
It was weird. It was the weirdest thing I ever experienced. It was like music, but I got into music when I was like 12, 13, somewhere around there. And so now I'm much older, I've got a day job.
Throwing the old guys under the bus. How old are you, Al?
Yeah, I was going to say
So-
both of those things, 12 to 20, seem like maybe 6 to 8 years ago.
No. So that I am 30 now.
Ooh,
yeah.
man.
30. Wow, you still have a metabolism.
Well, I got a
Oh,
kid,
you
so
just
it's going
wait.
away, man.
Metabolism.
Yeah, you make a chip for that, would you? There we
Hey,
go.
well, I think Elon's working on that actually.
Probably.
Monjero. They already figured it out. So, what's something else that you do that the average person sitting at their home could really utilize a service that you have?
Network security is always going to be my number one for that.
Okay.
So hardening a home network is to me extremely important for a number of reasons, but my biggest one is probably data collection. So I can download a bunch of, like, let's take Microsoft Windows for a second, right? Notorious for data collection and, watching everything that you're doing, Microsoft Edge.
No.
Oh, I know.
It's so very
Crazy.
helpful, though.
Right. Is it, though?
Well, so when I say something like, man, I really need to find item X,
Yeah.
then I get hundreds of those ads and I can find item X.
Like my feed right now is all watches.
Right. Actually, he doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to crack it open. We're going to have another guest on this show, and his business is he's the guy that runs the system that when you search something on your computer or your phone, and then you go home and put on Hulu or the commercials that pop up that are the things that you looked at, he does that.
Huh.
Yeah, he's on
That's
the
really
other
cool.
We
side.
also watch that show.
You're
Yeah.
trying to keep that from happening.
I'm
and he's-
exactly trying to
he's
keep
making
that
it
from
happen.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And oddly enough, his name is Alex as well.
No kidding.
Yeah.
He's my evil twin.
There it is.
Or I'm his evil twin.
He's
Just,
a-
Oh, no,
it's
he's-
perspective, man.
You're in one room going, I'm going to stop that. And he's in the room going, ha, ha, ha. They're going to see these Clorox toilet paper commercials. You're going to watch those uncomfortable pooping bears whether you want to or not.
That's correct. And by the way, you need toilet paper.
I do, actually.
Okay, so network security.
Yeah, so I'm always like gonna harp on network security, device security in general. Cybersecurity in general, man. It's big. I've seen, I've seen a lot of hacks. I read about them all the time. I see people, losing credit card information, having personal pictures leaked. I've seen people get blackmailed.
I mean, someone's going to end up with your little Brett Favre pictures.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. You got to protect that. We take it.
So, Brian,
So-
after the security talk,
Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty secure about the level of alcohol in my bar.
excellent.
And I think we do something each show.
So, Alex, I don't know if you've seen the show before.
I have not.
That hurts.
I'm
B,
sorry.
Are you a subscriber at least?
I will be.
I say
Thank
out with you.
Appreciate it. On many of, well, pretty much all our episodes, we do a shot.
Perfect. I just got off work.
Perfect. All right. Well, all right. So you chose the Bullet Bourbon.
I did.
And Brad's happy because now the decanter is, we're going to say empty.
Empty.
It'll be empty in a minute.
There you go.
Killed it. It's
Call-
a little teeny
call
plea.
Alyssa.
We need to call Alyssa, the mosquito lady, and get rid of the fruit flies.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for being on today, Alex. There you go. Cheers. Cheers.
I got to say, Brian, thank you for pouring a very manly shot.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I was
Appreciate it.
really
Triple
just
gulper.
trying to get rid of what was in there. Ooh.
It does have a nice flavor, though.
It does.
That's
more sipping than shooting, I think.
Yeah, probably.
yeah. That's not a shooter. That gave me the.
Well, it just was.
What do they call those?
Goosebumps?
Heebie-jeebies.
Goosebumps? Heebie-jeebies? Sure.
Heebie-jeebies.
Okay. In our little break here, you were talking about passwords.
I hate passwords. Passwords are the death of me.
Everybody hates passwords, but everybody reuses the same one.
Okay.
I
do try to vary mine.
I don't.
However,
Sure, but here, let me explain why even that is a bad idea.
Oh.
Right? So,
Oh.
so yeah, I'm gonna.
You're
ruin
not the
your
guy
whole
that
world.
chooses the password that's 1,000
Yes,
characters.
I am. And I don't know any of my passwords. And I'll explain how in a minute. But first, let me tell why using a variation of the same password is a horrible idea. We use in the pen testing world.
I'd rather have you come over here and smack me with a hot dog.
We use a thing called a fuzzer, right? So this is a program where it takes. So let's say you're a part of a data breach, right? Let's take
A data
LinkedIn.
breach?
Yeah, let's take LinkedIn. Big old famous data breach happened a few years ago, and everyone's usernames and passwords got leaked, right?
And now you're looking at my Ring camera.
Right. Well, it could be. So if someone's already cracked the password, so passwords aren't stored in clear text, they're stored in hashes. And hashes are like the counterpart to your password, right? Because storing in clear text is also a bad idea. So there's a little layer of security there. But let's say someone's already cracked your hash, right? So now all I got to do...
I had somebody crack my hash in high school. That really harshed my buzz.
So now I got your email, your cracked hash, and so I plug your email into a web scraper, find every account that's tied to that email, and then I take your password that I have cracked, and then I run it through a fuzzer, and it takes the password and it puts it in every single variation that a computer can possibly handle, and it does it in about 10 seconds.
Okay. So if you have got my password and you're watching my Ring camera, I apologize for the boredom and the occasional nudity.
Can you please find every time I've showed up at his door? Because I do something different every time I come to the door. Today, I flipped off your camera.
I think the last time I scared the crap out of you,
I
didn't
would
I?
like for there to be a compilation of all the stupid shit I've done every time I come to your
I
door.
wish I had it too. I never look at it. So
All right. So you also said you have a way around
Yes.
that. So
Yeah.
what do you got?
So password managers, they are everyone's best friend.
a little guy that goes, nope, that's not it.
He smacks you every time you use the
Nope,
same
that's not it
password.
either.
Yeah.
If you try one more time, you're never getting in again. I know that guy.
So, like, I mean, Google has a password manager. Apple
use
has
that.
the iCloud. And
Right. So
Don't use
Apple's
those.
is better than Google. Google
Okay.
is bad because if somebody gets into your account, I can pull all of your unhashed passwords in clear text. So don't use Google. Use a secured application.
I know.
Yeah, I know. No, like Google. Like, so I had a client recently who accidentally spilled water on his laptop.
Son of a.
Right.
Dummy. Why are you
And
drinking water?
So, so he goes, "Hey, can you get the data off this hard drive?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he goes, "Hey, I don't remember my Yahoo password. Can you help me get that back?" And I was like, "Probably not, but we'll see." So I plugged his drive into a new laptop, and everything booted right up and everything worked. And so I ran a program called Chrome Key or Chrome Pass, and it literally goes in and pulls all of the passwords out of Chrome because I have the drive. So
Oh, okay.
so if somebody, let's say you get a suspicious email, right? And you're on your laptop and you're working and somebody runs that program remotely because they've installed a remote administration tool and they're able to just jump into your laptop whenever, they can do all this in the background. You'd never know.
Wow.
Have you ever
Okay.
seen the movie The Beekeeper?
I have not.
Oh,
Yeah?
because you just mentioned someone's live, you know, as soon as you enter or click a button, they get into your system.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Statham is the main character, and he
Okay.
whoops everyone's ass.
Always.
You should watch the movie. It's really good.
All right. I will. I'll take that note.
Here's my password frustration question.
Sure.
How come when I type in my password, I'm not allowed to see what it is? And I love the
somebody
website
could-
that says,
Right.
put your password in and then put it in again. And then it says, nope, that's not it. And I'm like, that's not my
So
because I can't see my own password.
Right.
So I always click the view my password button on everything so I can always see my password.
Right. So the reason that they do that is this is a perfect question with the new release of Recall with Microsoft Windows. Are you guys
Oh, that's
aware
not
of that?
a movie?
No,
That's
Total Recall.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
not no, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What'd you just say?
I didn't say anything.
So Recall was a feature that Microsoft was trying to release, and they released it into some alpha builds. And basically what it did is it snapped a screenshot of everything you were doing every like 30 or 60 seconds.
Oh,
right?
that would be so helpful.
Right. Yeah, that's what everybody thinks for a second until they realized it was stored completely unencrypted and could just
Especially
be
in your world where
Well-
you're dealing with people's finances.
So that's
That'd
a
be
whole,
awful.
just so you know, that's a whole different computer on a whole different network on something I can hardly ever get into. Yeah, that's on an encrypted server.
that's good.
And yeah, I can't see that password either.
Hey, that's great.
That's best.
Yeah.
So
All right.
rolling back to password managers real
Yeah.
quick. Password managers are great. My number one application is called 1Password, the number one password. It has web plugins. It has a phone application. It works on every single operating system from Linux to Macs to Windows.
Are you breastfeeding over there?
He had to adjust his suction, okay?
Wow, mother truckers. That is not kind.
That's got to be quite an itch that you go under the shirt to scratch it.
Why you got to judge?
I'm not judging.
You totally
No. I was just exposing your password.
Nipple itch.
Anyway.
This is the part where Brian gets excited about what we're talking about.
You have no idea what's going on under my shirt right now.
Nor do I
One
want
pass,
to.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So why password managers are so great is because it makes it so you only have to remember one password.
Okay.
And
For Brad, thank goodness.
Yeah.
and that's awesome.
Can it
because-
just be the number one?
No, it has to be at least 8 characters long with one capital letter, one number, one symbol.
And then I'm lost.
Put it on a post-it note.
I do, and I put it on everything.
So it's cool because it also creates passwords for you, right? And so basically any application you're signing into, it's going to jump in and be like, hey, I see this application. I see this website. I see what you're trying to do. Here are your credentials that you save for this application. And all you have to do is click OK, and it inputs your username and password for you. And you can make your password a 20-character long alphanumeric mess.
Brian
like I did.
Quinlan at onlyfans.com.
Yeah, exactly. Secure.
It's
that
already
bad
taken.
boy.
So obviously people have Google passwords already saved or iCloud passwords saved. If I were to sign up for a 1Pass, which I will, how do I get all those passwords into 1Pass?
You can export all of that.
Okay.
And then go delete it
yep,
out of the Google
yep,
one.
it makes it super duper easy.
Okay. I like
And then
that.
that's on your phone too. So when you're
Yep.
not at home and you need your password,
It's
you're-
right there. Yep.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay.
All right, that's
Thank
I'll
you.
Look at
Yeah. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
Awesome.
1Password's the best. NordPass is free though.
Oh, one pass I got to pay for?
Yeah, one pass is like $7 a month. But
not
Nord,
so bad.
yeah, it's cheap.
What did you say the other one?
NordPass.
NORD, Nord?
Yep, like NordVPN. It's
Okay.
part of the same software suite. I use NordPass in my personal life. I use 1Password for my business.
Oh, okay.
Keep it all separate.
Okay, so that is not the stuff that we
No,
talked
that-
about.
that's totally useful,
not at
though.
all.
This is what I like. Actually, what he pointed out to me was, so I like TV
I do too.
and I like broadcast TV.
Yeah.
Me too.
So I still like to know that the news that I'm going to yell at comes on at certain times. So I still pay for Comcast. I'm a Comcast guy.
Me too.
Now, I also subscribe to Peacock, Flow Racing, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Mav TV,
Apple TV?
Apple TV.
It's a lot. There's probably more.
I don't
But
know. There's another one.
We'll stop at
Everybody's
those
like,
7.
if you join these, you're going to save money on your
Well, it used to
monthly
be
bill.
that way.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now that I have them all, and I'm paying all of this money, and then I don't like the movie theater. Like Brian, he likes to head
Dude,
to
I
the movie
love going to the
theater.
movie
He
theater.
wants to go get that popcorn, $19
Absolutely.
for popcorn. And now at least they serve alcohol at most of them out here.
I've never gotten that, but yes, it is a thing.
I'm told they have like,
Because that's overpriced.
yeah,
I'll pay $11 for popcorn, but that beer is overpriced.
I'm not going to get that beer. That beer's $7. It's a 40 ouncer though. Comes in the wrapper. So then I like to watch movies, but I won't rent one that's $21. It has to at least
have
be-
standards.
It's got to be $19.99.
Absolutely.
But I love it when they're $5.99
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
and then of course we use all the streaming service to watch movies. So I'd rather watch a movie here at home because I don't want to pay for that expensive drink.
I love you, Brad, but get to the point.
He told me there's a way that I can see all that without having to go to the theater.
What?
So I'm going to start this off by saying in no way do I endorse any illegal activity or
Okay.
piracy.
Good.
That's good. Yeah, neither do we. We do
So-
not either.
What I have built out, and I can actually give you a demonstration.
A demo. It's
Well,
demo
it
days.
might just be for us, though.
It will be just for
Okay.
you guys. Let me set up my VPN.
Is your
real
phone
quick.
locked down, too, by
Yes,
the
it is.
way? Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
I'm already in it and got all your passwords.
No, you're not.
Brad is so not that technological.
Hey,
Um,
I have a QR code that allows you to get on our network on the side of the fridge over there.
And Alex will tell you, why the hell are you doing that?
You have Xfinity, don't you?
No,
No?
I do, but that's not through what that's through.
Oh, well, I know you have Xfinity because I'm connected to the Xfinity
Yeah.
hotspot.
Yeah, if you go push on that, if you do the QR code, it'll just log you right into my guest network.
That's all right.
Old man Brad
I'd
just
rather
said-
not get on your network.
If you push on that,
So,
You have to take the picture and then
do I
push the button.
touch the sticker?
You got to touch the button.
I knew what he meant.
If you don't push it, it doesn't hook you up.
Anyways, so why this is so cool.
I don't know why you're
is,
so grumpy today.
Let me get signed in here.
I don't,
Take
I
your
don't
time,
think-
Alex.
Hey, I don't
We're
think
on-
you're allowed to eat them snow cone
Um,
things anymore because it
I
makes
didn't
you
have
grumpy.
one today. I had 2 yesterday. Lunch and dessert yesterday.
The diabetes.
It totally is. That was my entire lunch.
You're on a sugar grump.
Stephanie, I'll let you do that. Stephanie asked me last night. She's like, "So your lunch today was a snow cone?" I go, "Yeah, but I got a large size." And then I followed it up with a dessert snow cone. And I mean, I had breakfast, then I had snow cones, then I had an Optavia bar. That was
But
all I had till
you
dinner.
actually said it's not a snow cone. It's you had a different name for it.
Well, it's called a snowball, which
Snowball.
I mean, it's still a snow cone, but a different variation of the ice.
It's going to
that they
show
use.
up behind you,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
There it
right
is.
there.
Hey.
Those are the two that you had.
And that it's gigantic. Yeah, that's
That
the
is
6
gigantic.
degrees, and then the that's a new one to me. The Hawaiian shave ice one is the other one.
starts with a
Kukui,
K.
I think.
Kukui.
No, that's right. I think it's
don't
Kukui.
that's right.
Sorry.
Cool
So,
Continue, Alex.
anyways, what I have built out at home is a software suite that all works in tandem together. Basically, I host my own personal Netflix. It is free, and I download copyright-free content.
Very important.
And that's how, or either that, or I upload movies that I own.
Okay.
And so the way that I do this is, I'll show you right here. So I can just search for anything that I want.
By the way, I
Even-
love it when a guy knows how to use the microphone. So he
Yeah, he was like, okay,
slide back.
I'm outside of the mic
like it.
area.
Thanks, Alex.
I've spent
You can push that
a lot
forward
of
if you want
yeah.
to.
You're good. I've spent a lot of time in front of a mic, so so it even sets up monitors.
So there's a lot of OnlyFans on there.
There's a lot of OnlyFans on here. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Don't judge my taste here.
False. It's the Matrix.
Um,
I love Matrix.
And so it even sets up monitors for movies and copyright-free movies that are not released yet. As you can see right there, that middle one.
Oh,
So
I
as
do
soon-
see that.
As soon as that's ready, it will automatically load that into my personal Netflix.
Okay, so here's my question: when you're watching it on the TV, is it one of those where you see people's heads walking down the highways and stuff? Okay,
It's not. You can set up filters so that way it actually pulls a certain quality, pulls a certain
We call that-
size.
we call that BQ quality.
Yeah.
and as for size, we call that extra large.
That is correct. So thank you.
So my recommendation is to always do 1080p because movies are a lot of data. So always do 1080p because 4K is like
Yeah.
25 gigs. So 1080p is like a gig and a half.
Okay.
Whoa,
What would 720p be?
not
Not
good.
worth it.
Be like watching Green Acres on an old TV.
Holy
Which-
old man just
Can-
called out
wait,
Green
can
Acres.
Can I tell you something? This is
Again?
hilarious. My wife and I were talking on Saturday. We were bored in the morning, or Sunday morning. We were bored. We watched the first episode of Green Acres.
Wow.
The second episode of Green Acres, and the first 2 episodes of Gilligan's Island.
How were they? Do they hold up?
Oh, it's so fantastic. Now, what I didn't notice in 1960 television, and I'm going to demonstrate it because their mics were different back then. So in every scene, they were like this.
Right next to each other.
What should we do later?
We should probably milk the cows.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like and remember, screens were smaller too.
Yeah.
So like in Friends or shows that we've watched, in the 90s or 2000s, people are far apart, and
Right.
they have this huge set. And in those old shows, everybody is like inches from each other's face, and it was hilarious to watch. And Gilligan's Island was very similar.
Oh,
We didn't
now
notice
I
it
need to
until
go watch
after.
that.
Oh yeah, you have to pull them up and watch. Wow.
Are you even familiar with these shows?
Yes, I am actually.
Both?
I watched them. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up on like the Three Stooges and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All
Yeah.
right. Respect.
Yeah.
I
man.
didn't realize that Zsa Zsa Gabor's sister was the lady in Green Acres.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Well, okay.
For all of our people out there, Zsa Zsa Gabor was a actress.
All right. So I don't want to cut you off.
You're okay.
Are you still talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick. So see the movie. This is a movie that I picked that I want
Yes,
to see.
I see
right?
that.
So I just hit this right here, and then I hit that, and then by the time I get home, I can pull it up on this application, which is in my TV. You saw my list of movies and stuff already.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
If you like
kill
the
my
Avengers
VPN.
and Matrix, that's all I
I
saw
own
on the
those.
screen.
So then, do you have to cast it to a television, or can all of your TVs be hooked up to this program
Yeah.
as well?
Bro, all of his TVs are hooked
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Come on.
Come on, man. So the Xfinity Wi-Fi is bad out here.
Actually,
I
my Wi-Fi at my desk is the bomb. But if you're on my hotspot,
because
when
I'm
it's
not on
slow,
your. Yeah, it's because I'm not on your guest. Anyways,
Where's the Elon Musk?
Starlink right now
that's
is in a
right.
box under
Oh,
the motor.
okay. Well, never mind.
I will tell you though,
That's fine. We
yeah,
get it.
you get what I was
Starlink
showing.
is just as strong
I've heard
as my
really good things.
Xfinity.
You and a friend of mine in St. Louis are two people I know using that.
Yeah, I use it in the motorhome. I don't use it in the house, but it is a great option.
Okay. I mean, while we're on that subject, how much do you pay for Starlink? How does that work?
Okay, so Starlink, I bought the
And this is the Elon Musk go anywhere internet?
Okay, yeah. So Starlink has a couple options. You have an at-home service, you have a worldwide service, you have a marine service, and you have an RV service or a mobile service.
Wow. Okay.
And I bought the RV service, the mobile service. It doesn't let me go out of the country. You have to buy the international service for that one. So I didn't buy the in motion one for the motorhome, so I have to set it up when I get someplace. It is $150 a month, but I can turn it on and off when I want to use it.
Okay.
So if I'm going to go in the motorhome, I turn it on when we're going to go on a trip, and then I turn it off when we come home, and it's prorated for the days that you use it. So it's really cheap. But if you're a full timer in an RV and you want internet, that is the cheapest, best option versus using a hotspot or some internet, some phone service. It is the best, and it's $599 for the equipment, and my equipment is two generations old.
You mean $599?
Yeah, $599.
Okay,
Not $599.
Hey.
What's $599? Like a Snickers bar.
Sadly, you're not far off.
Correct. There's going to be a debate about that tonight, actually. So it's $599. I get to where I'm going. I drop it outside. It actually moves around and finds the satellites. It's so fun to watch. But the new one doesn't do that. The new one, there's so many more satellites now. And if I explain this remotely correct, it is a mesh network in the sky.
That's perfect.
Which I have a mesh network in my house.
Mm-hmm. That's spot on. Yeah.
Look at you,
Oh,
Tech Brad over
I'm
here.
smarter than your average idiot.
That's what makes Starlink so different from regular satellite internet is so if there's clouds, you just connect to a different satellite.
It's because there's
So many of
If
them.
I'm not sure, it's 3,000 satellites going the whole time.
Like so many
It's
of them.
amazing.
It's insane.
One of my former students is actually a member of Space Force.
No kidding.
Yes.
Which sounds like it's made up, but I
it's
know
real. So he graduated from Air Force.
Okay.
Played football there.
Nice.
And for 2 years, tried to get in the NFL. Didn't work out. So now he is full-time in Space Force in California. And one time I asked him, I'm like, there's just a lot of stuff in space. He goes, dude, you have no idea.
it's like 465. It's like 465 at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's like, it's just
crazy.
a mess. All right. Thank you for that, because that's awesome. As far as the non-overly nerdy person who may want to hack the system, what can you do to help people in their house set up? Like basic kind of things that most people might want, I guess.
Probably that TV thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's super nice.
Fred will be reaching out. He and I have already spoke about this one.
And my buddy Bill, who does watch the show, hi Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Right.
Out in the forest, hell, I don't even know. Like he is somewhere southwest, I think, of Indianapolis, but he's out in the middle of nowhere. So he may want, some sort of service or whatever out there. So, anyways, hooking up stuff in your house.
I mean, like, what kind of stuff?
I know,
so
it's kind of a
such
loaded
broad,
question, right?
loaded question. Like, there's so much. Like, do you use a smartphone? Do you have a computer? Do you not have a computer? Are you tablet? Are you trying to have a smart home? Do you want your lights to turn on with a voice command? Like, there's.
So it's going to be from smartphone to security to setting up a VPN because you want to watch the race when it's blacked out in your area.
Right.
Can you explain VPN?
Yeah, sure. So
Please.
it's a virtual private network.
Okay. Thank
which
you.
is super, like, that's what VPN stands for, right? So it is security.
I'm assuming you have VPN at your house.
Of course.
I have a VPN too.
You're impressive.
So a VPN is used for numerous things. The number one thing that it's used for that I recommend it be used for is to access data from a remote server. And what that means is, so say I am offsite and a end user calls me and says, hey, I think something's going on with the internet at work. Cool. I pull out my laptop. I use a VPN to get inside of that network so then I can poke around and see what's going on. So you can also use a VPN to, like, hey, I'm actually in Russia. I'm not here in the United States, Indianapolis right now. You can do that kind of thing with it as well, which is nice. It does have you
fix where you are.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So, like when the race is blacked out here, I go on the VPN. I put that I'm in Illinois.
Yeah.
Choose an Illinois server and then stream Indy 500 live on my television.
Because I've had people tell me to find travel deals. VPN is a way to go to, essentially go outside of the country.
Right. Yep,
I
that
didn't know
is
that
a good
one.
way
Yeah.
to do
That's a
it.
good hack.
That's one of those little travel hacks. VPN is used for lots of different things. It's not necessarily like. So everyone says like if you're going to be on a public network, use a VPN. That's true, but it's not like you're not perfectly immune to everything because your traffic still has to get to the VPN server first from that public network. That's what everyone kind of like.
So
Forgets.
if you're balancing your checkbook at the library,
Right.
Uh-huh.
you at least need to be on a VPN. Is
I
that what you're saying?
I always do that at the library. Okay.
The number one way to stay safe with all of your critical accounts is not to use a VPN. It's to not get onto them on public networks at all.
That makes common.
So,
that
like-
should be common sense.
Yeah,
It's
well,
probably
you'd
not.
think
It's
but-
not.
It's not,
Yeah, it's
no.
not. It's not. This is.
I mean, no joke. I mean, I've looked at my checking account when I'm out and about.
Right,
Any
sure.
random
Everybody
place.
does it.
So
Everybody does it.
on your phone,
Yeah.
on some restaurant's network.
right.
Absolutely, I have.
Yeah, everybody does.
guarantee it.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
and I'm
not.
a cybersecurity expert, but I
I
don't.
haven't done that. You
forget
know why?
sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know the password. It's the only reason I wanted to,
Well, your
I
phone
wanted to
has
make a
Face
purchase,
ID.
but I couldn't get the password in there. Yeah, but it didn't recognize the password before. And
So, okay, let's say I'm at a restaurant and for whatever reason I need to check my account. So I
Get
make
off
sure I
their
have enough
Wi-Fi.
money, get off their Wi-Fi and just be
Use
on
your
my
cell-
network.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Use your cellular.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Easy to do. Okay, there are lots of VPNs. And I guess similar to the password one that you recommended, do you have a recommended VPN?
Not really.
They can be pricey
So-
because
yeah,
I've had
oh,
one
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
It's like $50 a
So-
month, and I'm sorry, I consider that pricey.
Right.
what about VPN? The VP Proton VPN,
Proton's great.
It's
the
like
Proton
$9
software
a month.
suite.
Oh no
Yeah.
way.
and you can
Okay.
turn it on and turn it off when you're
Yeah.
not using it.
Okay.
The Proton software suite is amazing. I remember back when they were just email and you had to sign up for a wait list just to get the email. Way back. So Proton's cool. Proton's good. I personally use Nord. I use most of the Nord software suite because they have VPN meshing, which is super nice if you don't have the technical ability to build a VPN to your home network, you can install the Nord app on that device, set up the mesh, and then through Nord, you can access that device remotely. Yeah.
So you can remote into
Yep.
like an inside server
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why.
without having the remote software on that computer.
Well, no, you'll have to have the remote software,
Oh,
but
yeah,
you can
yeah,
actually do it securely. So, like, say I'm trying to access
Useful for you?
an SMB share.
What'd you say?
Useful for you?
Not now. No, he said no.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I'm
we-
not allowed to have. I'm not allowed to have that software on that server to access
Never
that program.
mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't ever recommend doing that.
Yeah, not allowed to. That's why I travel with 2 computers.
Yep. I get it, man. I travel, well, technically with 3. So one of them's for video games. I'm not that cool.
What we haven't talked about, I feel we could do this all night.
All
And
night.
we do have a time limit. So, in terms of like service,
Basically, because
and-
people quit watching after about the 7th second.
Right. So, you coming out to someone's house to, I don't know, wire it for smart home devices and all, like, how do you charge people and what does that run?
So really, it depends on the job
I
and
figured
what I'm
you'd say
doing.
that.
great
So
question.
typically, I block it out. So I say, okay, I think it's going to cost about this to do all of this. It's going to take this amount of time for me to do this. This is how I feel like my value adds to that. So this is what I'm going to charge them.
Okay.
So it really is job to job. The only thing that I kind of upcharge on is cable runs because I hate running cat cable. I've spent more than enough time in attics and crawl spaces running Ethernet
Oh,
cable.
yeah, that sounds
I
awful.
will do it and I will do it right and it will be perfect because that's how I am. But I hate doing it.
Hey, due to Captain Crawlspace, you would love crawling in my crawl space.
Oh, that's right.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
really?
We need
Oh,
to have
yeah.
him on the show too. I literally could have really short people Like they can only be about this tall, but they can live down there. There's lights.
can
It's
stand right
warm.
here.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh,
it's,
man.
It's completely. It's like you're in one of them sterile rooms.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
You know what the worst is the attics. Those are the ones I hate. Crawl spaces
Well,
are
'cause
not
it's
great, but
1,000 degrees.
Oh man.
Yeah,
or
but-
it's negative 1,000
Oh
degrees.
yeah. I spend like 15 minutes up there. I
Oh.
come soaking wet, drenched. Like it's brutal.
So what about the TV thing? Is there like a roundabout cost to put
Yeah,
like a server TV thing together?
So before the price in a hardware,
He's
I charge,
asking for a friend.
Yeah, for a
For
friend.
Fred. For Fred.
So before the price of hardware, I do charge around 250, give or take. It depends on
And then you have the hardware on top of that.
hardware on top of that.
Okay.
Hardware.
Is that some form of server?
Yes.
'Kay.
Yep. It depends on how, like, do you want to expand in the future? So it's around 250, but it depends on like how in depth are we going to get? Are we going to like prepare for more to be added?
I'm going to say that my server is going to be a lot like the suit that I purchased. It's going to have to be built in a way that there's some growth in the future.
There you go.
Expansion
There you go.
allowed.
Yeah.
Bespoke is what I'm talking about.
Bespoke. So if you want a little growth, that's definitely doable. Hardware is going to be it's what's going to cost the most.
Okay. Awesome.
But in all honesty, you're just looking for a little growth and some hardware. You're probably looking around maybe $1,000 for the server, if that.
And if you think about all of the things that you pay for that you now don't have to,
Right.
I mean, that's like a month.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, it depends on, like, we can get that down to probably like $300 too if you want to go secondhand even.
So here's a question then. On that type of program, can you still get into it from your phone when you're not
Yeah.
at home?
Yeah.
So I could use my Starlink to put it in the motorhome and still watch that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be
Oh, we
talking
can even
about-
set it up so you
Oh.
don't have to use a VPN.
We're going to be talking
And I'll
after
make it
the show.
secure.
We're about to be best friends.
We are. Because we
Just
want to
gotta
be able to
convince my
watch
wife.
every option of Green Acres as possible.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Not true.
I feel
Green
like,
Acres is a show I don't want to go
I
back
don't feel
to.
like you're
I'd
much of a-
watch Gilligan's Island.
I feel like you're a Beverly Hillbillies guy.
Oh, you know what? Over Green Acres, yeah.
Over Green
Absolutely.
Acres?
Oh, for sure.
But out
Gilligan's
of,
Island knows where it's at.
yeah, but out of theme songs, the Green Acres song is so amazing.
It's catchy.
It sticks in your
I'll
head.
probably be
It's-
singing it the rest
it's
of
an
the night.
earworm.
Thanks, jerk.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to end the show.
All right.
Alex, again, I feel like we could do this all night, but we do
Yeah.
have to end it at some point.
Well, we could talk after.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yes, sir. Not a
Appreciate you. You got any more beer in there?
I don't, unfortunately.
you can pretend.
It was
Pretend.
really good.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Great content.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to all of you. We'll see you next time. Real Estate Makes Us Drink. If you want information from Alex, you can leave a comment and we can hook you up with Alex. Though
I do have a website.
Oh, hey, there's
ZNet, so it's just ZNet.Solutions.
the ZNET.
Yep. And if you want to reach out to me, my email is solutions@znet.solutions.
All right. And
Right
we'll
at the
also have it on
timing.
the screen.
Of that being on the
Oh,
screen.
perfect.
And also, if you notice, there is a QR code and you could push in on that.
Well played.
You're welcome.
All right. Cheers,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great one.